social edit.
All right.
So
This will be interesting.
A social edit is a story edited and formatted for viewing on social media and not meant for broadcast. Your submission must include a write-up explaining why this edit is primarily for a social channel. Entries must be 90 seconds or shorter.
Yes.
I have a quick question. I see some are labeled TikTok. Will we know which platform each thing was meant for?
I don't say in the rules that they have to mention which platform.
Okay.
So the first one is what? The 0061? Okay.
This story is about the popularity of one man's advice by an antiquated piece of equipment. It was edited specifically for the social media platform because of the attention span on that spectrum, I believe, is harder to keep. Through graphics, sound, and speed, we have done this version of the story.
There's the phone again.
Every 10 seconds.
Fishing-wise, very well.
It's ringing right now.
They want to know about the weather.
Had a very nice day.
There's your phone.
It's really kind of comical because I've had ladies walk in here. They'll say, the first thing my husband does when he gets out of bed in the morning is grab the phone, cup of coffee, run to the bathroom, and I know he's calling you.
Usually he's right on the money.
Thank you.
You'll be able to fish Monday. Nothing but ringing, 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 ringing. I've had issues with my health. It would be very tough for me to really hold a job anywhere. By being my own boss, I was able to, provide for myself, my family, and that.
When they did get out,
We stay on top of it for them.
well, I thought it was still very strong.
We're not always right. Yep. Try to come up with the best plan we can. Phone's ringing again. That's all it does, man. That's all it does.
Verify TikTok, no. Pumpkin spice does not contain any pumpkin. This edit is for TikTok. It's made vertical for this reason. It's a shortened version of a broadcast piece made specifically for social media.
Whether you love it or hate it, pumpkin spice everything is back. But did you know that pumpkin spice doesn't actually have pumpkin in it? Yeah, we're serious. So what does go into the blend? Well, it's a combination of 4 to 5 other spices you might already have in your cabinets. Cinnamon, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, and allspice. If you mix them up, you've got a combo that you can add all at once to whatever you're baking, which is kind of the whole point of the spice to begin with. Way back in 1934, McCormick and Company put the first pumpkin spice in the US all in one container, rather than bakers needing to mix each little flavor. For all you latte and coffee drinkers out there, your favorite seasonal sips might also have pumpkin in them as well as this spice, like those Starbucks PSLs, which added pumpkin puree back in 2015.
Hey, can we turn the audio down a little bit? I keep hearing the exact same noise in the two pieces, and that's not possible. I'm just wondering, and I'm going to slash them if I keep hearing that noise. I don't know if it's just coming in too loud. It's almost like a coming through it on certain bass noises. It happened in the Fisherman midway through, and then on the spice piece. I don't know if it's just coming through too loud, if anyone else is hearing that.
I don't hear that, Tony.
You don't? Okay. Then maybe I'm crazy. I'll turn mine down, see if that does it. Okay, thank you.
Video produced for social media to promote a story about a pro skater coming back to his small Colorado town to help build new skate infrastructure. This was the tease for a very special project we did surrounding high school football here in Texas. The idea was to have a quick tease that could not only be the placeholder on YouTube, but also be shared on Facebook and Twitter to spread the word about the episode. These were designed to capture that Twitter mixtape feel and push people to watch the full 20-minute episode on YouTube later that night.
Crosby wins!
It was frustrating. Y'all making me relive it again.
Liberty Hill, the tradition is winning.
While doubling as the opening of the PKG, this was designed to be shared not just on Facebook, but I also edited it to play on Instagram stories as well. The best part is the music and the barrels off the top were edited to grab the viewer's attention for the full story that was going to air at 10 p.m.
Whiskey is any distilled spirit that's made from grain.
When you hear Texas whiskey, it sounds like something that's been made for the last 200 years. Not something that's just come across in the past decade, roughly.
Not a lot of other states in the country really have that, like a real identity around what it means to produce whiskey there.
If there's a uniform characteristic that applies to all of it, is that it's easier to age bourbon in Texas than it is in probably most states in America because of the heat.
And so that Texas weather that we were just talking about is so important to that narrative because it is actually creating a unique spirit that has a unique story behind it.
But as you look at Texas whiskey, I think a lot of what has made it special too is the entrepreneurial spirit behind it.
Good bourbon can change the world. Good bourbon creates enduring, lasting friendships. And good bourbon creates legendary stories. That's our philosophy.
Join Nat Geo photographers Jeff Frost and Stuart Pally in the field as they document wildfires in Sierra Nevada.
Jeff Frost. We are going through the forest trying to get to some sequoia groves, and we're kind of deep into the interior of the Windy Fire right now. It's second fire in the area. Filming from inside the heart of a dead sequoia tree. There's a hole in here that goes up about 30 feet.
Well, so much for that being the last of it.
We're trying to make sure that we stay safe in addition to getting the footage that we need to get while we're doing this. And yeah, so maybe we can actually get somewhere here.
Learn about the captive cheetah trade and how to think before you like photos of wild animals on social media.
Did you know there are only about 6,000 adult cheetahs left in the wild? Yet somehow scores of cubs are taken each year and smuggled abroad to be sold as pets to the wealthy. But here's the story and how you can help right here on TikTok. This is Aster, a baby cheetah who was rescued from smugglers in Somaliland in Africa, where most of the illegal cheetah trade takes place. You might be thinking that this is good, Aster can go back into the wild now. But baby cheetahs stolen from their mothers almost never can. And to make matters worse, breeding cheetahs in captivity is really difficult. In countries like the UAE and Saudi Arabia, people buy cheetahs as a symbol of their wealth and influence, and to brag about on social media. But this is wrong for a lot of reasons. Cheetahs are wild animals, they're not pets. They're meant to live free in the wild. So keep an eye out for these types of photos. You can help by not liking or sharing them, which only spreads them to a bigger audience and increases demand for cubs. Think before you like by asking yourself, is the animal pictured out of its natural habitat? Is a human in the photo with a wild animal? And if so, is that person a scientist, a vet, or a rescue worker? Spread the word and help end the practice of having cheetahs as pets.
All right, that's all of them. Let me know if you want to see any of them again.
Okay, judges, what have you?
Can I just say which I thought one was flawless? Where I want to start with that one. That was the Texas whiskey edit. That one was an amazing showcase of leading from one shot into the next shot for the focal point. I felt like, I mean, yeah, it was a commercial, but I felt like I was watching something Procter and Gamble put together. It literally took me from, if a shot ended here, it's the next shot started here and took me somewhere else for the next shot to begin. That's difficult to do with a storyboard, let alone to execute. And so I really like that one. And that's the only reason I like that one. There was one I wrote meh. I think that was the spice one. And then I know there's one I need to see again. The skater thing. I was still writing notes, so I missed that one completely. And I really wasn't sure what it was about. And then I can vote
Anyone
later.
else have some comments on which ones they liked?
I really did like the whiskey. I just wish I would have heard a little more gnats. I was hoping to hear something, some room noise, something pouring or something that was happening. But overall, I felt like that one was one of the top ones. I really did like the sequoia or the fire one. I didn't feel like I was watching a TikTok after a while. I kind of really started, feeling like I was there in the location. It did feel kind of seamless. Some of the text was challenging to read, but those two were the top two that kind of stuck out to me.
Anastasia?
I like the Sequoia. For me, the video and the sound were so compelling. I did not need to read. I hear everybody's concern about not being able to see the type, but the video and how it was put together, that drew me in. I'm not quite sure what Tegna station submitted a verify for an edit competition. I mean, full disclosure, I work for Tegna, right? I'm like, why? I saw them like, why would you do that? It's a formula. That feels like I'm confused. And in terms of the let's see, the skate park, I will full disclosure, I used to work for 9 News. That's the station that produced it. I worked there for 12 years. I do not understand why they did not put any gnats in it. It must have been a conscious decision, because that shop does not put gnats in a story, if you know anything about their work. I mean, you're laughing, but am I wrong? I mean, Cody can speak to it. Sean can speak to it. There's like a room full of people who can speak to it.
Yeah, that was
that's when Sean was there.
It was a confusing decision.
Yeah,
I feel similar to everyone. I did like the Snug Harbor thing for a while, and then and then I was like, I'm confused if this is like a tease or a full story. It didn't tell a full story, but it felt like they were trying to. But still felt like some of that I liked at times when there were just the fast cuts to the track, but didn't fully get what they were trying to accomplish there. But I would put that in a group to talk about as well.
those fast cuts should have been used in that boring football thing. What was
that?
Terrible.
That had potential, but I didn't know what the story was that they were teasing.
What was weird about the football thing is you couldn't hear the football. It's one of the loudest sports on the planet. I
mean, in Texas, right?
Right.
In Texas. I have so many, I am confused right now. So everybody whiskey?
So is whiskey and Sequoia your top two? It looks like you just have to figure out which one's first.
I would say whiskey. The Sequoia, there was an audio issue in the middle. So if I had to make it second, that's why. Meaning the music was so loud, they should have dropped the music a little bit. Like when they were writing at night and we were listening to the radio, you could barely hear the radio. I mean, he had to boost it and he didn't, or they didn't, or whoever didn't. So that's
or
why
maybe they couldn't. Perfectionist. Maybe they couldn't.
That's what we're judging is perfection. So
is whiskey predominantly first?
I think so.
Yeah,
I give it a number one.
I wish with that.
One for me.
And then Sequoia is second.
Yeah.
And then is there a third?
I think.
Go ahead.
I think what was that first one? The fishing guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's a third, but he could be an honorable mention if we have a third. And the reason I say honorable mention is because there really wasn't a point to it. It never breathed. It didn't take a breath.
Did y'all see my notes on that?
No, I didn't. Let me see yours. Yeah. It was so fat. Right. Yeah.
I appreciate a fast edit, but that was too much.
There was never a breath. Like,
yeah, it could have slowed down. I still feel like it stands out from the others, but I'm not so passionate that I would fight that it needs recognition.
Fair.
We don't have to fight that it needs recognition.
No, I meant
agree
like,
that. Yeah,
I don't need
but
to stand on a soapbox about it.
If the four of you aren't overwhelmingly pleased with it, we don't have to place it. It's up to you.
Okay. No, that's fine.
So we're just going with the first and second.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in agreement?
Cool.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
On to the next